Hello. As you know, I've been doing some vibe coding projects before, and I'm working on one right now. And there's a number of these different companies that came out with these vibe coding applications that claim that you just put a little prompt and it's going to create the app for you, just one prompt, and everything is hunky dory. So I figured let's give it a try. There's one that recently came out from the Base44. So I figured let's give it a shot. Let's do it in real time, see how good this is. So I'm going to say, build me a simple CRM app with neuromorphic design and built-in chatbot to answer any questions about the data and queries that users might have. Okay, so something simple, no big deal. Chatbot is a little extensive, obviously, in terms of building it, but let's see what it does. So I put in this prompt. This is the entire prompt. Hit send, and recording in real time. Let's see how long it takes. Let's see what it does. So it took the request, and it says on the left they're planning next steps. Okay, that's a good sign. It's a CRM with a chatbot planning. Beautiful. So it's got all kinds of different deals. It shows you as it's going through the motions, and it says create neuromorphic. For those of you who don't know, neuromorphic design is basically kind of a black and white type UI, user interface, that has buttons that look like they're either embossed out or pressed in. I personally like the look a lot. I think it looks really nice like this. I like neuromorphic stuff. Obviously, subjective whether everybody would like it or not, but I like it. So I figured we'll give it a little bit of additional help in terms of hints for how we want the UI to look. But in terms of details of how it's going to work and everything else, notice I didn't tell it anything. I just said I want a simple CRM and I want this chatbot. And the idea was with the chatbot that then if it does it properly and it does it the way I'd like to see it, then the idea being that you're putting in all these appointments and all these different things that are going on, different tasks with your customers and your business, and then you might want to ask it some questions. What was my sales total for the last week, or how many appointments do I have coming up tomorrow? Things like that. Basically something that chatbot should be able to answer, provided it's got access to the data, and hopefully it will. So we'll see if it's asking me for any API keys. Theoretically it should, or at least there should be some place where you can specify the API key, because I'm sure these people want to use their own tokens for accessing API. But anyway, let's just see what it does. So far it's been, I think, with like probably at least, there we go. Look at this. Not too shabby, right? Not too shabby at all. At least we got something. Okay, so it took about 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. It says create a sophisticated CRM with the soft neuromorphic design, and that's what neuromorphic is supposed to look like. An intelligent AI chatbot can answer questions for your contacts and provide data insights. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this thing. If I hover here, it just gives you total contacts, active leads. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it shows 5 contacts. This obviously is some bogus numbers they put in just to have some data, which is fine. So total value, let's see, 150, 225, 275. 300, 200, yeah, that's 500,000, so that's right. Customers, it says 2. There is one that says customer 2. Active leads 1, 2 also, yeah, in prospect. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And over here, if we go to contacts, we got these different contacts here. We got this add contact. Let's put a contact in there. So it gives a nice form. Put a name. It gives me the stuff I can get from there, which is nice. Then I can put my phone number pre-filled from the browser. Company would be PCS. Position would be, it's a founder, CTO. Status would be, we got lead, prospect, customer, inactive. Let's say this is a customer. And deal value, we'll put deal value of 120K. And last contact date, let's say it was today, so this would be 10/8/2025. although they have a little calendar, which I'm assuming, yeah, so you can actually pull it from there, which is great. So see, all of this is built in. I didn't have to do anything. This is awesome. Additional context, this will be a test comment for the first customer. And I'm going to say create contact. Okay, so now we have a record for me right there. And if I click on it, I'm able to go and change it, I'm assuming. Oh, edit contact. Click edit contact, and if we change PCS to be productive computer systems, just to make sure it's doing everything. Yep, went ahead and changed it, so that's great. You got the right numbers there. So if we go back to the dashboard, yeah, see now it says 620 because we had found 120,000, so that's correct. So far, really good. And so if I wanted to change this customer from customer to, let's say, prospect, then he's a prospect now, okay. So that's the contact management, which is pretty simple, pretty nice. Now, one thing you can do, I like to have the icons here, and I didn't tell it that, so maybe if I tell it, it would change it, but it would be nice that they were clickable so I can send email by just clicking on the email address or call by clicking on the phone. But that's something I'm sure I probably could tell it to do and probably would add it. I mean, it's pretty simple to do. So, but so far so good. So we got context, we got that. What else can we do in this thing? How do we enter a sale? Do we have any? Okay, there's a little chatbot. Okay, it says I'm a CRM assistant, ask me anything. Okay, so who is the best salesperson? Okay, so we got, let's see. To determine the best salesperson based on CRM data, you may consider the total deal value and customer status. Currently, Sarah Johnson has a deal value of 150K, and the current customer well, Jessica Williams from Enterprise gets 200K. Is also a customer. If we're strictly looking at the deal value, Jessica Williams represents the highest revenue and could indicate the best performing salesperson. Right, because she's 200 and Sarah is less. However, if you're assessing based on overall customer relationship and ongoing deals, both Sarah and Jessica are strong candidates due to their customer status. If you have access to individual salesperson performance data, that would provide more accurate assessment. Okay, so it's a little bit wordy, but it does seem to do a good job in responding to the question. Let's say, whom should I contact next week? See, it's very minimalistic, so it doesn't have all the stuff. It doesn't have like tasks, and I didn't ask it specifically, and I'm sure, you know, if I asked it, probably would add it to the mix. Okay, so it says based on CRM, you may contact Sarah and then contact Jessica, follow up, cultivate this relationship. Additionally, you might consider reaching out to Michael Chen and David Park to nurture these opportunities. So they have, what is this? In summary, priorities. Okay, so it's very minimalistic, which is what I kind of asked it to do, meaning that you can find anybody here by just typing their name. So if I type in Oleg, see, it immediately just shows me only myself, which is exactly what I wanted to do, even though I didn't tell it any of this. It shows 6 contacts in your CRM, so there's the card there for that, so the search capability works. If I get rid of it, I'm assuming it's gonna go back to everybody. Yeah, it goes back to everybody. And I can just close down this chatbot here, which is very nice. And yeah, so I can't do that. Okay. So basically pretty straightforward, very, very simple. If you wanted to be able to keep track of people you're talking to and assign them some sort of a status, and then be able to put in the amount of dollars that as you're making sales and everything, and then be able to ask questions like this from a built-in chatbot, this will do the trick. And then you can have the dashboard that shows you where you're at, how many contacts you have, how many leads, active leads, how many customers, and total value of everything you've sold. So it's definitely not a comprehensive CRM, but it's very, very simple CRM that's definitely usable. Without any question, this could be used in a very, very minimalistic manner. And if this is all you care about to keep track of, just people, money, and their status, this would definitely do the trick. It took about 2-3 minutes to generate. You can see it looks beautiful. And major kudos to Base44, that's all I can say. Because there's no way any programmer in the world could write this app with this functionality in this amount of time. Nobody could do anything like that. Okay, this is something that typically would probably take, my guess would be probably at least a week, maybe even a little bit more, depending on different problems that come up or anything else, possibly even longer than that. If you did it by hand, no, definitely not a week. Probably more like, a couple of weeks. And this is something that it generated in just a matter of a couple of minutes. And it looks beautiful. It works exactly how it's supposed to work. Kudos to Base44. This is awesome. All right, I'm gonna play with it. Maybe I'm gonna stop developing my own separate deal with Claude and just work with Base44 because this is pretty slick. I hope you found this useful. This is real-time, real-world example of using vibe coding. And as you can see, I didn't write a single line of code. I just put in one prompt, didn't do any iteration or anything, and it did the job. They have an option here to share it, and let's see how that works. Let's just try this before we leave. So there's a URL we can copy. Let's jump into a incognito window and paste this URL and see if it comes up. Because I was running it in their environment. Let's see if it works in the wild here. So it looks like it's loading, and then it's loading some more. There we go. And so if we click on continue with Google, it wants my phone number and stuff, so let me put in the phone number or email. Let's put that in and click next. And then it's going to ask for the password, so we'll put that in. Put that in and hit next. And then it says it's going to use the phone to do the tap yes thing. So we do the two-factor authentication on the phone. Let's see here. And yes, it's me. And that should confirm it. And there we go. There's the app. So just like we saw before, we have the contacts. We have the, totally functional just like before. We can do the add new contact. Yeah, it looks like it's working here. Let's see, who had the lowest volume? Looks like it says deal value David Park at Startup Co. Where is David located? It says doesn't provide information. Yeah, because we don't have, we just have company names. So do we have anyone from Innovate? Yeah, you have Michael Chen from Innovate Inc. Yeah, no, perfect. I mean, you can see that the chatbot does a great job in figuring out pretty quick. Everything is fast. Everything is looking nice. Awesome. Kudos to Base44. Absolutely great. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And until next time, I'm still Oleg.
A 2-week programming project. And then you have the 2-minute version.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.